a slow start for the Knicks, at least on the road here, BT.
Yeah, it's been a slow start. Listen, I think it's nuts to go nuts after 4 games here. And I'll grant you this. Obviously, a lot of discussions you and I had when they decided to move on from Tom Thibodeau from Mike Brown. I do think if Tom Thibodeau's coaching this team this year, they're probably 3-1, maybe even 4-0. I'll grant you that. I'm not even looking to push back there because I just think that there's more of an urgency during the regular season with Tom, and that results in some more wins. That's not my concern. My concern is the guy who is supposed to be running shotgun with Jalen Brunson to win a championship. He's just not it, man. And I promise you, I have thought about this for a long time. This is not a hot take. This is not firing open the mic and just trying to harpoon a guy. But Karl-Anthony Towns, he's a problem. He's never going to be that guy. He never was that guy. He didn't do a damn thing to change his body. He is soft. He is slow. He is sloppy. And I also know, Sal, there's going to be nights where he puts in 40 and 13 rebounds. And I also know that he's not fully healthy right now. The quad is not quite good, and I do believe that he's a little bit compromised with that. But the ceiling for the Knicks is it's not a championship with Karl-Anthony Towns running shotgun next to Brunson.
Okay, so my question to you, though, would be, did you think that would – what made you think that was going to be any different from what we saw a year ago?
Well – It wasn't, because when we talked about this going into the season, right, I didn't think they'd win the championship. Right. I told you that. We agreed on that. I remember I said...
No, but forget about the championship. Yeah. I'm talking about Towns.
Well, I guess it was my hope that he would take this offseason, right, and change his body and understand, hey, I was in the Eastern Conference Finals. I've got a team that can win a championship. I'm getting floated out there with rumors for, be traded for Giannis, and maybe take it personally and take it seriously and kind of, I don't know, just take that next step physically and emotionally. He's just not that guy.
All right, but what was the other big thing that they did?
I mean, obviously you change coaches here. It's not a finished product, though. I know you're gonna have an early laugh I get it.
It's not even an early laugh. The big knock on Thibs was that, and even I said this as a Thibs supporter, was that he didn't maximize Karl-Anthony Towns' offensive game. If you watch the Knicks play under Mike Clown so far, it looks...
Mike who?
Mike Clown.
No, we're going with Mike Clown 4 games in.
He's a clown, dude.
Mike Clown?
He's a clown. He's got no control of the team whatsoever.
All right, go ahead. Mike Clown.
That's what he is. He's a guy that wants to be loved by the players and the media and joke around with the fans. He's not a real head coach. He's a clown. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but his name rhymes with clown, and I think he coaches like a clown. Therefore, to me, he's Mike Clown. Does the offense look any different to you? Because at times, maybe... there's ball movement.
It looks worse, actually.
Okay.
I'm not liking what I'm seeing.
And then at other times, the majority of times, like in the second half last night, it's ISO ball, it's Brunson being the hero, it's Karl-Anthony Towns again out of control, trying to get to the rim. Mm-hmm. Not to mention the Knicks can't shoot, like they're not good enough shooters. They are a mess. So I'm not disagreeing with Karl-Anthony Towns being they're just not. We talked about this before the season. Mm-hmm. So the hope, they're not going to win with him being their second best guy. The hope was that at least Mike Clown could maximize what Towns can do offensively in a way that Thibs couldn't. And it's way early, sure, but BT, this is what happens. It's year one. So when's it going to be too late? We're learning as we go. Well, it's 4 games into the season. Okay, well, you could kiss the idea of 60 wins goodbye. To me, that was never realistic. Are they going to be the best team in the East? I don't see that, and I wasn't sure that was going to be the case before, so I know it's very early. I'm not looking to overreact here. But they've got a long way to go before we look at them as championship.
Yeah, they do.
Stamp them as the beast of the East.
There's a lot of things with this team that I don't like here. Now, I think Mike Brown's a whole hell of a lot better than you do, but eventually we'll find out. There was a sequence last night, and this is why it's just never going to change for Karl-Anthony Towns. Now, he can lock himself at a gym. Mike Brown can funnel the offense through him basically every possession. You can do whatever you want to do, but there's certain things you're either wired to compete hard or you're not. And again, I'm reluctant to get in the weeds on one play against the Bucks in Game 4, but I have to because I think this is the problem with him. There's a sequence last night. They throw it down to the post, single coverage, right? He starts to make his move. They drop from the top of the key. Here comes the double. I forget who doubled. It was Kuzma one-on-one. Then the Bucks send the second defender. Cat's got the ball. He reads it properly. Soon as the second defender comes, he pumps it out to the perimeter. I think it may have been Brunson. Either way, he gets it out. Now the second defender who came to double goes back to where he was. Then they properly dump it back down to Karl-Anthony Towns, who was 1-on-1 against Kyle Kuzma, who is not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 inches shorter than Karl-Anthony Towns, right? And this is why points per game and even all-star berths and even, to an extent sometimes, like first or second or third team All-NBA, why I really don't get wrapped up in that. You have a guy who is 5 inches smaller and 50 pounds lighter pinned in the post. You should stick your ass basically in his chest and drop step and dunk in his face. What does he do? He flails, he fumbles, he falls away, he chucks it up, back rim, not even close. So, again, I just had to get, if you watch it, I actually shot like that. That's why I took some ridiculous shot there, because that's what it was. And that's him. Like he's just, God, I gotta say it. He's not a dog. He's not a rot. He's not a pit bull. He's a little puppy. He's a little puppy who was 7'1", 260 with game, but at the end of the day, he's a puppy.
He's an offensive foul machine. His best asset is his shot, and he doesn't do that nearly enough, well enough. I mean, all we keep hearing about is he's the best shooting big man ever. Now, there are going to be nights where it falls, and that's great, but I want some consistency. Like, how could you justify a team scoring 45 points in the second quarter and then not beating the 20-point mark in the third and fourth quarter?
They're inconsistent right now.
They're not. The only thing that I trusted their effort with Thibs. With Thibs, there was a floor. You knew you were going to get max effort, and you knew the consistency was going to be there. Now, were they going to shoot the lights out every time? No, I don't think they're a great shooting team. You know Jalen Brunson's coming to play every single night. I think Brunson's got issues with Towns, too. Now, I'm not trying to make beef up, but, like, you could see him trying to coach Towns up.
Yeah, they're tired of it. He's just, like, he
doesn't get it.
He doesn't get after it, man.
Dude, he's for a big that plays that out of control. But this is nothing new. So people blame Thibs for being the one that held the Knicks back. So Mike Clown comes in and is supposed to elevate this team to an offensive level. Now, I'm not going to make any decisions based off of just 4 games. However, they are a win-now team. This is not, well, it's year 1, let's see what he could do. It's they've got to win now. They've got to win now. And all we're hearing is, well, we're learning a new system. And then we're watching it, and it looks the same to me. Hero ball, one-on-one stuff the majority of the time. Karl-Anthony Towns looks the same, if not worse, than he was before. And you're right, there are going to be some great games, sure. I'm not going to be fooled by that. I don't believe that this team is good enough. I don't believe that the power tandem, the superstar tandem, is good enough. And I think they regressed as far as the head coach goes.
They're not going to win a championship with this group. I mean, that's all there is to it. I mean, they're just not. They will not. You can take what's said on this show, at least from my microphone. You can seal it. You can ship it and send it wherever you want. And you can bust it out in May or June whenever they get bumped if they don't make a trade, because they're simply not going to win. Now, again, the Mike Brown, I remember saying to Sal early, maybe a week or 2 before the season started. Now, I didn't love this part. And I do like Mike Brown, again, a lot better than why you think he's a clown. I think he's good.
I do think he's a clown.
I got you. I definitely don't think that. We'll see what his upside is here. Point being, Mike Brown said during the preseason, we're not even running plays yet. We're going to free flow. We're going to read, react. Now, I don't like that. That's too schoolyard for me. I need a little more structure.
Correct.
I'm with you there. I do. But I do think as the season unfolds that they will eventually get there. So I'm not concerned about an early loss here or early loss there. And I will grant you, and I think that you say that well, the Tom Thibodeau floor was very reassuring. Yeah. Very reassuring. I don't know what Mike Brown's floor is, and that's a little worrisome. I believe that in totality, from an offensive point of view, and then you mix it all together with a better bench, whatever, and a weak East, I think that the ceiling could be higher than Tom Thibodeau, but I grant you the floor could drop a level or 2 lower. Bottom line is this, we very rarely do this with the NBA, might do it with the Yanks and Mets a little bit, certainly do it in football. It's 4 games in. I don't like what I see. It's less about the coach. It's much more, actually, really, it's all about the guy who some of you still think is a superstar and going to lead the Knicks along with Brunson to a championship. Newsflash, there's no shot it's going to happen. Towns is not that guy. I don't even know if the Bucks want him anymore, but if they do, and I know that's a separate topic, but they're going to eventually have to seriously re-engage Milwaukee because they're not winning with this crew.
BT Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Adam is calling from South Jersey, starting us off. What's up, Adam?
Oh, what's up? First call of the day, boys. How we doing today?
Yeah, those Knicks you get up on the line first more than anybody else when we start talking Knicks, Adam. What's on your mind today?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what. I didn't like this hire from Jump Street. Towns is going to regress because Mike Brown's not a taskmaster. He's not Tom Thibodeau, and the only way they could have moved on from Tom Thibodeau is if they were going to upgrade. They did not upgrade. They lateral move to a coach who does not push his players, who wants to be everyone's friend, and you got a couple of dogs on his team who are going to work on their own and don't need the motivation, but then you got guys like Towns that need to be pushed, and he's not going to be pushed by this guy. And I agree, BT, this team ain't going to win nothing, and it's not just Towns, though. You need to pull your head out of the sand, brother. It's Towns and now Clown. Clown's not going to push Towns. He's not going to push him. He's not going to push him. That's what it comes down to.
But Adam, even with, and thanks for the call, even with Thibs last year, BT, and this is why we came to the conclusion a year ago. Like, I was not blaming Thibs. There were others who were, yourself included. Like, you just wanted to move on, whatever. And
but to be fair, and I'll certainly let you finish. It was less about blaming Thibodeau, more about being open to what they could be without him.
All right, fair enough. Whatever the case may be, the Knicks themselves felt that they needed a different coach to get them to another level, and I understand that thought process. For me, the issue was always their stars, specifically Towns, wasn't good enough. So the hope would have been that Mike Brown would have come in and maximized what Towns could do offensively. Now, it's like I'm not making any definitive decisions in 4 games. I had a belief about Mike Clown before. I have a belief after watching it for 4 games. There's a long way to go. But to me, it looks a lot of the same outside of people getting excited about the amount of players that he used last night. And really, last night was a rotation of 9. So, like, we're already starting to see that flower start to lose its bloom, or whatever the hell the saying goes there. The idea that they were going to be better off with Mike Clown instead of Thibodeau, to me, was faulty. But Karl-Anthony Towns is what he is, and you see why now they had issues with the T-Wolves all those years in the postseason.
Okay, so one thing that Adam just said here, good call to get it going here, right? So he used the term taskmaster. I'm going to, with the exception of maybe Shaq during the Kobe period with Phil Jackson, when Shaq was, Hollywooding things up and got a little heavy, whatever. And by no means am I putting Karl-Anthony Towns anywhere near Shaq in terms of the NBA stratosphere of stars. But if you want to call him a star or a superstar, what superstar needs a taskmaster? Think about that. That's a contradiction because superstars are motivated from within. Kevin Garnett, Ewing, even though Patrick fell short, Patrick gave his soul, man. It was never a lack of effort or a lack of want. Maybe it was a lack of roster around him. I mean, whether you love LeBron or don't, I'm whatever at this point. But, self-motivated guy. Kobe Bryant, the ultimate self-motivated guy. Alvin Iverson never won self-motivated during the games, not necessarily practice. You get the point. If you've got to always kick a guy in the ass to get the effort to a level that is commensurate with what a champion needs to put out, got news for you. You're not a superstar. And all the things that he doesn't do well, all right? And that's why I really don't think that this is an overreaction today. I don't. Because think about what Cat doesn't do well. He doesn't make quick decisions. He's not in great shape. Him and his stupid fouls still going back to the postseason. He hasn't learned from that. Are those things going to go away in May or June? Are they going to go away suddenly because he gets 79 or 78 games under his belt? No, they're not. They're inherently within him as a player, and that's why he will never win a championship here.
Which is why I just want him to play on the perimeter. It would eliminate half the problem here. Stop. He is an offensive foul machine. Stop getting him the ball down low. He can't do it. He looks like a big man. He is a physical big man. He has no moves in the paint. He's not a prototypical big man. His best skill set, his best asset is his ability to shoot the ball from long range. Play his ass on the perimeter. I don't know why they're not doing that. Well, and I was expecting to see more ball movement, BT.
Me too.
Bring it up, kick it around the perimeter. Let's go.
The ball movement's not what I think it's different than last year, even though they've lost the last 2, but it's not quite where I thought it would be, so I'm kind of with you there, kind of. Here's the thing, though. All right, that sounds good. Hey, Cat, plant your behind on the perimeter. Jack up 10 threes. You're probably at 4.5 because you're very good at that. And you're an asset there. Okay, fantastic. Who's rebounding and who's guarding the middle without Mitchell Robinson, who's made out of tissue paper?
Right.
It's another problem with this team.
Yeah, I mean, no, but let's blame Tom Thibodeau. Ari is calling from Manhattan. What's up, Ari?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking the call. I can't get my head around this. People say the Knicks have dudes, Knicks have dogs, Knicks going to do damage.
Well, people don't say that. A person says that.
A cat is a pussy cat. I go meow. Every single time he touches the ball, I go meow because he's just so soft. It's just unbelievable how a guy can be 7 foot tall.
Yep.
He couldn't post me up. It's unbelievable. It's really incredible, and I would hold off judgment on Brown or Clown, whatever you want to call him, because it's 4 games, and I don't want to get creative about 4 games, but this for Towns is just a continuation of last year in the playoffs.
Same stuff.
It's mind-numbing.
Yeah.
I was texting my buddies during the game. He's unwatchable. It's painful.
It bothers me. Yeah, like unwatchable. I mean, that's pushing it a step far because we're going to watch him anyway. But, God, I can't remember. Well, probably Carmelo for different reasons. I was going to say, I can't remember the last Nick that frustrated me to this extent. It's the level of frustration that Karl-Anthony Towns brings to me watching him play. It is through the roof. Now, listen, whether it's your child or cat, if you ask somebody to do something that they're not capable of doing, well, that's on you. You're an idiot. I mean, like, you want to ask me to dunk? I can't, because I can't jump, and I'm 6'2", all right? So I'm never going to dunk. But asking Karl-Anthony Towns to play a little stronger when he's 7 feet, 260 something, that is not out of the, like, that is not crazy. And because he can't do it, or because he doesn't do it, and I still think he could do it a little bit better, that's the frustration, and it's not changing Sal. It's not year 1. It's not year 2. He's almost a decade in. What are we waiting for?
But I don't get then why people would be so, like, dismissive of the impact that Mike Clown has had. Like, I know it's 4 games, but you're not judging it based off of just 4 games. The whole reason why you brought him in was to make them better offensively and maximize their potential offensively. And we haven't seen, like, there's not even a consistent level of offense yet. I'm not saying that they had to execute it at a high level consistently. I'm not even seeing the infrastructure of a different, consistent, better offense. Whereas when Thibs first came in, the floor with those guys that had no talent outside of Julius Randle, immediately you saw it right out of the gate like, okay, I know what this team's going to be. Mm-hmm. I'm not seeing that from Brown. And maybe
you're talking about Thibs' first team, like Noel and those guys, right? When okay, go ahead.
You see the impact, and it's not just Thibs. Like, you see it with a good coach right away. Oh, wow, okay. Now I know football, whatever it may be, I know what this team's going to be about right now. I could see the change in year 1. The biggest thing that Brown had to do was get Towns to be a better, to maximize his ability. That to me was the number one, like the only thing that you could possibly justify in my mind moving on from Thibs was that you gotta, because Towns is now the star here with Brunson. This is it. You've got to be able to figure it out and maximize what he can do with Brunson together. And Towns, he's not that player. And I thought at least Brown would have him be more on the perimeter, ball movement, have him shooting more. It's not that.
Listen, for me, there's going to be nights where we're going to be pretty happy with this team. I'm just not taking the bait. They're not going to be a 44-win team. They're not going to be like the 6th seed. And I know, by the way, some people might think that, and that's fine, because Mike Brown has never won a championship, and this team right now doesn't quite look the way we thought that they might. I still like the regular season upside for this team. My biggest gripe, yours is with the coach, mine is with the 1A star who does not look up to the task, no. I don't think that that's going to change at all.
Mine's not it's not my biggest gripe. But I was saying that I would have kept Thibs for another year so if he can maximize it.
Yeah.
My issue has always been that their stars weren't good enough.
Brunson too?
No, well, the combination of the two.
Yeah.
I mean, could Brunson be the lead dog and take, like, we saw them get to a point where I think that they needed to try to get a talent like Cat. He's unfortunately just not the right guy. And Brown was supposed to maximize that. And I'm not reacting to the 2 losses. They could be 4-0. If they look the same way, like, it's not to me just a result. It's the way that they look. I'm not seeing a difference in them.
Fair enough. 888-808-1019.